Hello, Wanderers. Welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series following Yorleif, the son of Vemender Ravenkiller, the grandson of Ivar Twistfoot, and a man who has proven himself time and time again to be one of the greatest Vikings to ever live, especially in that last episode where we ravaged the Holy Roman Empire and weakened the authority of the Emperor quite significantly. Now, at the end of that last episode, our allies in Norway declared a subjugation war against Sweden, which we have gone and in the in-between episodes, taken their capital and sieged down a bunch of their land and got ourselves enough to claim a victory here over our enemies, which we will be seeing in just a moment here. So we won the war led by King Halfdan Ivarson, our nephew. And so it is done. So if we take a look now, Norway now controls all of Scandinavia and a big chunk of Finland as well, which is a significant victory for the Asatru faith, which, as you can see, is on the ropes as Catholicism is spreading significantly in Sweden, even into Norway, and certainly in Denmark and Finland here as well. So there is a big spread of Catholicism that we are at least able to prevent continuing to some extent here with the new King of Norway being a Satru as well. Now, some people have suggested we should try to reform the faith, but I don't think that that's something that either Yorleif or Ivar would really be inclined to do. Beyond just the mechanical things they have to do taking these lands, I mean, Norway could, is technically only needs one more a holy site in order to be able to do that. But in my opinion, this playthrough hasn't been about preventing the Asatru faith from ever disappearing. It's been about prolonging the ways of life of these people, of the Norse ways of life, and that is partially the religion, partially the culture. But it doesn't mean that it's never going to go away. And that's completely fine with me. What we have done though is prevented it from disappearing as quickly as it did, historically speaking. Obviously, the Christianity is continuing to push against these lands, and in that sense, it does, have a lot of advantages, especially with this massively strong Holy Roman Empire. But the Norse faith is not going to go away as quickly as it would have historically because of the efforts of our last couple characters. Not only over here in Scandinavia, but also still here in Iberia. Galicia is still ruled by King Stein, who is a Satru, and Julianos, which is currently Mos Arabic under Jarl Bergthora from our House of Scalendil here. Her heir is Countess Edla. And as you can see, she is a Satru. She holds this county here, Monterey, so she converted to Galician and a Satru. So Julianos will also be ruled by the Asatru here as well. So that is something that we need to kind of think about. And so at the end of that last episode, I suggested a way that we can keep one more bulwark to prevent the Christianization of these lands, and that is by dealing a massive blow to the Holy Roman Empire. We already dealt one, but we could deal potentially even a death blow to them if we can take a big chunk of land and further weaken the Emperor's authority. Maybe not a death blow, but it will certainly be one that could be pretty powerful. Now, the previous Emperor did die in between episodes there. If we take a look here, Emperor Francois died of smallpox, which is kind of ravaging this region where his capital was. And that leaves his nephew, Emperor Omri the Silent, as the new emperor. Now, Emperor Omri is content, he's trusting, he's chaste. I mean, he was a crusader, but this is more of a learned man than a warrior. And so, if we can deal a blow against them, that's going to be a massive boost that's going to be a massive detractor to the power of the emperor. And we can lead an invasion war against them, as you can clearly see, a kingdom invasion war. Now, I did suggest at the end of the last episode that we might look to take the kingdom of Aquitaine, and I had some people questioning my decision there, and for good reason. I didn't really explain it, but allow me to explain it at least as briefly as I can here. Some people have suggested that a more obvious option would be to take East Francia here, because that is most of the lands that are starting to butt up against us here. Or perhaps taking Frisia would be, something very plausible to take, or maybe even Brittany here. Those are all very plausible. Well, Frisia and Brittany, very plausible options. East Francia seems like it would have a lot of advantages if we're trying to prevent the Holy Roman Empire from spreading into Scandinavia. But allow me to explain why I think that Aquitaine is by far the best option. Now, it has several advantages over the others that they don't have. Number one is that if we're looking at this from a story perspective, the Holy Roman Empire has been able to concentrate all of their forces on their eastern borders here, because their western borders are basically, there's no threats. They're not facing really any threats from Iberia with Navarra here and Andalusia. Galicia is not really a threat to them down here. England isn't really a threat to them in the north, maybe a slight one, but clearly the Holy Roman Empire has a big handle on that. And then, Italy's not a threat to the south. The Byzantines might be, but the Byzantines are, kind of busy, on these borders as well. So there might be some clashes between them down here. But for the most part, they've been able to focus all of their attention on the east here. And so you could imagine that they would have the majority of their military might would be concentrated in this region. And that's probably why they're expanding so quickly and so heavily in this region, because they don't have to worry about anything anywhere else on their borders. Really, it's very secure. So if we are to take Aquitaine, now suddenly they have a massive threat on their western border here. That means that they have to commit probably 50% of their military might has to go back to the west, and that prevents them from expanding so quickly to the east. So strategically speaking, having this big threat on their western border would be a huge advantage to our cause, which is to weaken them. Taking Aquitaine has another advantage. It also gives us a border on the Mediterranean. Rather than having to settle or sail all the way around Iberia and through Gibraltar to get to the Mediterranean, we can suddenly have ports on the Mediterranean. Yeah, we won't be able to sail up the rivers all the way there, but we can sail up the rivers pretty far and then, walk the rest of the way to get, and build ourselves some ships here in the Mediterranean. And then suddenly we have a path right across that is much faster than sailing all the way around here. So that's a massive strategical advantage as well. There's another advantage in that we have allies here, maybe not necessarily allies, but sympathetic causes in perhaps the future Jarl of Julianos and the King of Galicia here, who would probably love to have a Norse Aquitaine on the border here as well. So we could get potentially some help from there, which is going to be a big boost. And we prevent the Holy Roman Empire from expanding into that region and threatening the Norse people in Iberia as well. So there's a third advantage. The other advantage of that is that, let's say we were to take East Francia or Frisia or Brittany. Well, Brittany maybe not so much, but certainly East Francia, we would have a massive border to defend. We could be attacked on 3 sides. This could easily be a massive liability. Frisia, maybe is a little bit easier to defend. Same with Brittany as well. But Aquitaine really only has this northern and eastern border here. The southern border, although it does have some enemies potentially in Navarre and Andalusia, is protected by the mountains as well. So we wouldn't have to worry about it quite as much. So there's that strategical advantage. Beyond that, it's also, relatively rich lands here. especially compared to ours. And one thing we know about the Norse, you know, the reason why they invaded England was because the land here isn't all that good for farming and things like that. You know, we need land for our people. And so taking these lands down here is obviously going to provide a lot of land for our people. Um, so yeah, that's my reasoning there. I think it's pretty solid. You know, this it protects the Norse Iberia, which is something we, you know, have an interest in. It gives us valuable land. Strategically, it's, you know, not only does it weaken the authority of the emperor by losing such an important part of their land, you know, Italy and Burgundy and Brittany and all these other kingdoms are suddenly going to start to think that the emperor's authority is well in question if he loses Aquitaine. It's just got so many advantages to it. But that being said, the new emperor does have his court here in Frisia. And so I was tempted to change my mind and go for Frisia instead, but Frisia isn't that rich. You know, it doesn't have all of those advantages the other one have, but we can take Frisia because if you take a look here, if we declare war, if we declare an invade the kingdom war, you will see that you will seize all titles within the realm belonging to the de jure target title and all occupied counties outside of it. If we can take the lands of Frisia here, if we can take the counties here, we can get Frisia and Aquitaine in the same war. So that is exactly what we're going to do. And I hope you understand my reasoning there. I hope it feels solid because, you know, like I said, I thought this out. You know, I think protecting these lands here, you know, North Iberia, that's something that's been important to our playthrough. You know, this is our, you know, our family heritage is here in Julianos. You know, it protects Scandinavia by drawing the attention away from the Eastern Front. It's just got so many advantages. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to declare this war now. So let us invade the kingdom of Aquitaine. And let us declare the war. So yeah, we will declare this war. But first things first, we are probably going to take the lands of Frisia because, like I said, I do want to try to take both kingdoms. Now, we will need some troops here. We can call in our allies, which we're definitely going to do. We'll probably call in both of them because Vladimir could be useful, even though they're a little bit further away. But we got the alliance, so we might as well call them in. And I do want to call up some mercenaries. We took a ton of loot from the Holy Roman Empire, and we don't have a ton of stuff to spend it on. We can't really expand anything here. So we are going to get some mercenaries here because this war could go against us. Like, they have 8,000 troops, but something, you know, like, I don't think they have really any big allies, but he's got a ton of money. Like, he can call up a lot of mercenaries. This guy, like, the Emperor is rich. Not as rich as us, but he can call up a lot of mercenaries. So I want to call up a lot of mercenaries too. We're going to get some special mercenaries because I do want to get somebody with onagers because they obviously have castles. We don't have siege equipment, so we need to get some mercenaries who have onagers. To the handsome King Yorleif, I'm honored by your offer and would love to stand alongside your bannerman. I should receive priority in further dealings. Still a good deal for me. He will join on our roll of patrons. I mean, sure. It's fine if he is on our roll of patrons. And then I want to bring in some other mercenaries as well. I'm willing to spend a decent chunk of money because we got to win we're going to have to win some first battles here. And in order to do that, I think we want to round out our men-at-arms because we don't have any pikemen or horsemen. So I'm tempted to spend like 1,000 gold here on just a bunch of pikemen and horsemen. And then we'll raise up all of our armies. We'll have a pretty strong army here that should be able to handle them. And then with the Norwegians and the forces of Vladimir, we should be able to handle this. Now, you probably can see Yorleif is, you know, on death's door, so I don't think he's going to live for the rest of this war. He's got a lot of sons, though, and his sons are going to need land. And so, you know, we will be leading this war in his name. But I think that the person who is going to be really leading this war is going to be Ivar, because Ivar, you know, he's not necessarily ambitious, but he is arrogant and fickle and brave, and, you know, taking these lands certainly might speak to to such a man here. So Ivar will lead the forces here. All right, yeah, we've got 8,000 troops. How many they're calling up? Yeah, see, look, they got 10,000 because they brought in 2,500 mercenaries. So yeah, look, they're up to 10,000 now. We got 20,000 though, so we should be able to pull off this victory. But I want to ensure our victory, if at all possible here. We got to put Ivar back in charge. Yeah, Yorleif. I think Yorleif is going to leave this to the young man. He's on death's door. You know, he's old. He's got cancer. I just don't think he's got anything left, and that includes his nuts. So, yeah, we're gonna go let this war be done. My acquaintance Ehrenfried is scheming against my courtier. Well, we can't throw him in jail, so let the traitor be known to all. Child of my dynasty, Yorleifer. Well, he already has a son named Yorleifer, so let's name him after... What about a good Gutar name? Sivard, Torbjorn, Christian? No, we won't name Uba. No, our family's rivals with them. Eric? Carl. Carl's, yeah, that's a decent name. Carl Iverson. All right, we got ourselves another perk here. Sappers. Well, that could be useful. We'll see how long we live, though. We are on death's door. I don't know if we're actually going to survive. Even though our health technically is still just poor. I don't know if it's possible for us to actually survive this or not. So yeah, the first thing we're going to do, rather than going for Aquitaine right away, I'm going to go for the Emperor's capital here. Commander promoted. My Marshal Frostier has been showing off a promising young recruit. All right. Get this guy in. More champions, the better, I always say. All right, our allies, the Norwegians, have joined us. So let's, let's station besiegers, and then we'll go and get another siege going over here. Well, I do want to kind of carpet siege them. So I think we'll do that a little bit. Taking a little bit of attrition hits here. But I just want to get as many sieges going on as possible. Saemund and Kolbjorn are discussing strategy for the war, but we know how to employ both strategies, and just as we do, we die. King Yorleifer of the Eastern Salt Kingdom has crossed the door to the world of the spirits at 50 years of age. He died of cancer. Known to be an exceptional strategist, he spent many of his days examining troops and raiding his enemies. King Ivar ascends to the throne, ever confident in himself. Ivar's rule may bring glory or shame to House Hefnedreit. Only time will tell. Continue as King Ivar. There's a deep and endless hole in my heart. Yorleifer, my father, was a constant companion and confidant. And to have him ripped from my life feels like a mortal wound from which I will never recover. Well, I guess we will never forget this day. And we do experience some level of catharsis. Seems we're being distracted by lascivious thoughts and erotic fantasies, but as you can see here, we have the option to take rakish, but if you ever get the option to take athletic on a stress break, you absolutely pick athletic, because that is actually a really good trait, and we are going to be going with that. With that being said, let us take a moment in silence for King Yorleifer, who was, in fact, a man who I think you had to respect him, coming from, the line of Ivar the Farwalker and, Vemender Ravenkiller. I think King Yorleifer the Fearless certainly made a name for himself, and I think he lived up to his dynasty. And the question remains to be seen whether Ivar the Elder here will do such a thing, but I suppose we shall see. We do need a new tutor, because our wife cannot serve as the tutor. Ulfedin Frosterson, the son of Frostier. All right, we'll get him. That's pretty cool. Get their contribution to continue. All right. I really want these siege equipment guys to actually be sieging, but with the passing of my father, King Yorleif, I now find myself questioning our dispute with House Ubing. Yr's killing of Alvar may have demanded a response, but is it in our interest for us to continue? Well, considering that our family words are vengeance to honor the gods, I think that we will continue it. So, there we go. The sacking of Oslo. With the fall of the settlement of Arensbjorg to... curse those Nile... Oh, I guess one of our lands got sieged down. Damn. Oh yeah, we're getting raided. Well, I can't really deal with that right at the moment. We do need a new chancellor. I guess our brother, Ivar the Younger, can serve as the chancellor here. Alright, yeah, let's... Oh, and we gotta pick lifestyle. But rather than going down diplomacy, considering we're in the middle of a war, I think I want to get chivalry. Because that advantage +5 is very useful in battles, especially with ourselves leading the army. So I'm definitely going to go that way for that. Got some factions targeting us, but I'm not really too worried about them. Just right now. Oh, we've got an enemy army here. Let's go and try to take that. He's calling up. He must be. Oh, look at this. He spent so much money on mercenaries. Yeah, look at that. Mercenaries. Well, he must have spent... Oh, and he brought in a holy order. His money just disappeared, though, so he must have spent a bunch of money on mercenaries there. So, yeah, I think that we're going to go and try to hit this army if we can. Ivar's leading it himself, so this must be... I wonder who's in this army here. 4 knights. Guy's leading it. Captain Hamelin of Valois. So this must be like a mercenary force. Oh no, don't break off all the sieges. Alright, well, it's fine. Alright, we're gonna crush this enemy army here. Oh yeah, we absolutely... Ooh, getting into fight. Oh, with a Holy Order member. Wait, which Holy Order did they call in? This guy is They called in the Teutonic Order. The Teutons are in here. The dust settles across the field about 100 paces away. You spot a lone enemy. Ooh, actually, we should use the sword or the spear. We got the fine sword, but we inherited not only the Saga of the Skald, which I will take, but the Heftinger of Virtue. We have to bring this sacred and honored weapon for our family into this battle here. I will duel that bastard myself. We're gonna fight this guy. We should be able to take him. All right. Me needs to make an example of you, Herbert. It's Anglo-Saxon Crusader here. Maggot, you think you can stand against me? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, we killed him. Nice, that was a fast kill too. Commanding the unwashed is slightly different art to commanding those of higher birth. Oh yeah, with 0-4 warning, my screamed obscenities turned to a piercing thrust. Oh, and we slaughter the man. Hell yeah, there we go. Ivar proving himself in that battle. Oh, and we absolutely annihilated their army too. Details, yeah, we crushed that force. I don't know if that was like, I guess we might be able to tell actually. Let's look at the details of this battle really quick. All right, yeah, so we slew one of their guys. If we take a look at the enemy, we might be able to tell which force we just destroyed. Oh, look at that. We crushed the entire Teutonic I'm pointing at my screen. You guys can't see, but I'm looking at this here. So they have no Holy Order left, which means that the army we just crushed up there was the Teutonic Order's main force. And so they've got the mercenaries left. They no longer have the Holy Order. So we just destroyed the Teutonic Order in one massive battle here. That was epic. Ivar proving himself as a true Viking. Perhaps even the last Viking. I suppose we shall see. We do still have to watch out because there is still, some enemy forces around that we should, we do need to be at least concerned about. Oh no, I don't want to take that attrition. All right, I guess we stay here. Get these sieges done. Will our... You know what? Let's move... Will our allies... Oh, man, we're taking... I don't want to take... No, this actually isn't that bad of attrition. Okay, we'll move down here. I'm just a little concerned about the enemy army, because I do have 10,000 troops. Which is 11,000. So if they catch our army by itself, I mean, that won't be ideal. But we've got our troops a little bit separated here, which is probably not smart. But I'll just really keep an eye. If they look like if they cross anywhere, then I'll try to get away here as quickly as possible. Because if our allies come in, we should be fine. But oh, actually, we've got some forces in here. All right, let's just get the sieges done. I'm really annoyed that this mercenary army here is not joining in the sieges, which is where they would be most useful. But, you know, I guess you can't control the AI, so they're just going to consistently be enemies to us. What are we trying to do? Murder King Halfdan. We're his heir? We're the heir to Norway. Huh. Well, all right. Who's the heir to Sweden? Chieftain Alf Orvar's son. All right. Well, I guess we keep that going. I mean, the AI said that was what the AI was doing it. So, wow. I think Sif would serve you well as a concubine. Who's Sif? Sure. Thanks, brother. Send this woman over to us. Be our concubine. Yes, we'll accept. All right, yeah, we get these sieges done. We probably, too bad we don't have any siege commanders here. Yeah, basically, oh man, siege commanders. Always lacking. Always lacking the siege commanders. Bring these troops over here. We've still got people sieging, so that's good. I'll reinforce this army down here. We've got a couple sieges going. Don't forget, this is also the capital of the Holy Roman Empire as well. So if we can take that, we'll get a nice boost from the sieging. Oh, he wants to give me a concubine as well? Sure, we'll take all the concubines. give us all the women. Why not? All right. What do we have here? Betrothed can marry Freydis, Emender's daughter, to our brother. All right. House Greifensblood, still obviously a very important, prestigious house. All right, so we've got a decent amount of troops here. Let's form them up into one army led by Ivar. And let's get this siege going. So I do, like I said, I do want to siege down Frisia because I want to get this kingdom and then get Aquitaine. I want to have both kingdoms. So that's the ultimate goal, is to take both. And there's the added bonus of taking their capital, which should give us a significant advantage. Ooh, okay, scheme discovered. Okay, he doesn't know we're involved, so I'm gonna actually break this off because he is too big of an ally. Yeah, I don't want to risk offending our ally when the scheme's been discovered, because Norway is actually being a big help to us in this war. So I'm actually going to pull that off. If I would have let it, if we hadn't been discovered, I would have let that roll on. But I think that we want to just avoid angering our allies in such a way. Oh, nice. We took the kingdom. Oh, nice. Oh, we took a prisoner too. Too bad none of his children, unfortunately. Where? Oh, he's down there. All right, let's go and bring some more of our troops down here. I guess we'll go and siege down a little bit more of Frisia as well. Right. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about having a chunk of our army this separated, but oh yeah, okay. See there's their army coming in, so we might need to. Oh man, can we actually go and take that? Oh, no, there's their full army. Okay. We should be watching out then. So let's get our troops gathered up here. We might be able to coax them into a big fight though. Our allies are pretty separated though. These guys are marching on. They won't have defensive advantage over here though. Will our allies join in? That's the question. I think are we actually, no, we're not stuck going in there. Can we take down this force? Will our allies join us? 8,000, we're gonna bring 7,000. I think we might be able to do this. So I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna risk it here. And I think we're gonna try it. Okay, yeah, we got enough allies coming in here that we should be able to pull off a victory. I'm hoping here. All right, come on, come on. Our allies are coming in. Yeah, it's going to be just enough. Nice. All right, this is going to be a big battle. Arnfat. Oh, okay, we're losing people here. Oh, King Conrad. King Conrad is here, the king of East Francia. Oh man, this could be a pretty pivotal battle, actually, as we engage the enemy here for this for this massive massive battle here. Come on, this is good. This is a big one. This is gonna certainly determine some level of the fate of the war here, because this was their entire force that we engage with over here. Nice. Oh, look at that. Oh, our uncle was slain in battle. Let's take a look at the details of this one. 1,200 troops lost. They did, you know, they lost 2,200. But if we look at the details of this battle, we can see Arnfast Snarfari, House Snarfari, still backing us in here. Interesting. Killed a guy and maimed another one. Lars Vasa wounded a guy. Frostir was wounded. His son, his son was maimed. Oh, that's rough. And our champion, our uncle, was also slain. But we captured Count Hamelin of Linz, who's obviously a capable commander. We'll probably keep him imprisoned because, well, actually, how much you want to pay? 50? We don't really need the money. I'd rather keep him imprisoned. Keep away one of their good commanders here. All right, let's bring up our army, form them all up. We're gonna finish this one off pretty soon, seems like. I'm a little concerned where they're marching because they might be able to go and take our smaller army up there. So maybe we get the siege going and we just leave our allies to do some sieging here. I'll break off a little bit of troops. I just want to make sure that we're backing up our other army over here. We probably could do some resupply as well. Oh yeah, seizing some artifacts here. So we're already taking a good chunk of Frisia here. So if we can continue that, let's continue, get some more sieges done here. Yeah, we're not taking too many casualties. Our supplies are not doing great though, so maybe we go and split our army up into this. Send them over to this barony here. Okay, the enemy army is still hanging around though. Maybe I don't want to split them off too much here. We could go and take them for another battle. We could still build up a decent amount of war score from battles. We're losing on the war objective, but that's because we haven't focused on Aquitaine just yet. So that is something we will need to consider. Negotiate an alliance with our brother High Chieftain Halfdan. Sure, I will accept that. Just means that he's not going to betray us, which is always good. Okay, yeah, they got the 9,000 troops over here. We'll see if they come in and try to fight us. You know, I'll keep these troops over here. Man, maybe we go for them. Do we have some forces on here? Looks like we do. 700. So maybe we take this army and this one, and we keep the siege going here, but we see if we can cut the enemy off here and coax our allies into. Doesn't look like our allies are going to join us actually. Let's bring up our troops. Okay, maybe they will now. Maybe we can coax them into a battle here. Enemy supplies running low. Oh, look. Oh, they were going to split. Can we get them? Will our allies come? Good question. Oh man, they got... I'm a little wary because I don't want to lose a battle. If our allies are coming in, then... Oh, they were coming in. It's a little tough to tell sometimes. So let's go and we'll just form up the main bulk of our troops here under Ivar. I'm kind of playing it a little bit safe here. But, that's totally fine. Yeah, they're going to march away. They've left half of Frisia just under us here. So if we can go, we'll take this army once we've done a little bit more sieging down over here. You know, once we take this one, Yeah, this should give us a pretty decent chunk of Frisia. Probably about half of it, honestly. And that should potentially allow us to form a Frisian kingdom as well as the Aquitainian one here. So, you know, taking Frisia and Aquitaine, now that is going to be a real blow to the Emperor. And it's going to force them, you know, not only now will they have, you know, an eastern front, but they'll have a northern front and a southwestern front. And that will absolutely... Oh, our ally left. Why? And can we get some more mercenaries in here who has siege equipment? These guys? Can't hire you. What about you? You? Okay, we can hire these ones. The Swans of God. They're cheap as well. But they've got onagers, and that's what I want, is onagers. I just want onagers. We'll accept. Get them over in here. Why can we suddenly see troops all over their empire now? Oh, what is going on in here? There's just troops everywhere around here. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, there's the enemy army over there. We are going to be... Yeah, we will need to worry about supplies, so maybe I do split my troops up. We should be able to resupply in enemy counties that we do control, right? I think maybe supply is lower. Supply limit 3,000, so we might be okay. We split them up here. Not sure where our allies are going. Yeah, we should be able to resupply once we split here. Okay, no, because they're over here as well. So we do have to be a little bit cautious. Because, yeah, they got their troops coming back in over here. So I want to make sure our allies just don't get caught out by that big army. But we do have some more Norwegians, I think, coming in. Oh, they're going to the sea. That's fine. Our supply is still going down. Undersupplied. But we're under the supply limit, so I'm not entirely sure. Seems like there's some more enemy armies over here, so maybe we can go in and... Don't lift your siege, you guys. Don't. Oh, they did lift their siege, didn't they? No, they keep it going. Okay, that's smart. Alright, that army's gonna get away anyways, though. So we'll let them. They got some decent troops. This isn't just a guaranteed war. Like they got some troops in their forces here. You know, they're packing 12,000 troops. We got the troop advantage though, and so we should be able to make this work. If they land their troops anywhere around here though, which it looks like they might be attempting to do. Oh, look at them. They're going to land right over here. That is absolutely foolish. Okay, once they get locked in, now we go. Because they're going to have the disembark penalty. And, oh, actually, do we take them over here? Yeah, okay, I guess we're going to take them here. Okay, bring in the troops, bring in the troops. Yeah, that disembark penalty is really going to hurt them here. So we got to bring in everybody to go and take down... Oh, this is going to be a big battle here. That was a foolish move by the enemy there, but Ivar comes in. Hell yes, Ivar. King Ivar is a badass, and he just absolutely crushed the enemy army there, as we can see. Oh, he turned sides. Oh, he was bribed to turn sides, and now we're going to go and crush his army as well. Out. Yep, there you go. That's what happens. All right, nice. All right, I want to go and break the siege that's going on up here. I'm going to bring in... let's see which of our armies here. Not the, yeah, we'll bring in the 3,000 ones so that we can go and end that. We're going to take this siege here. It will be soon time to go and take Aquitaine because I want that minus 21 war score is obviously hurting us. So we are going to want to go and take that, but I want to make sure that we've got Frisia here down on lock, essentially. And then they're going to have to bring their troops around to try to stop us there, so... Can we catch... Oh yeah, we're going to catch them. Nice. Going to catch this little army over here. Did you hire some more mercenaries, Emperor? Oh man, even just these losses that he suffered in battle here are going to be a massive blow Oh yeah, he brought in some more holy orders. I wonder if that's these troops over here. Guess we'll find out as we engage them in a fight over here. This small army. Okay, this might be enough of Frisia to have taken. We can take West Friesland from Sersen later. But yeah, I think that, oh yeah, that's a good victory over there as well. Let's take a look at these 3 victories. Yeah, 700 men lost. They lost 3,000. That's a pretty good one here. Saemund Moring wounded a man. Ulfedin Thorund was wounded. Oh man, he lost the leg and was wounded. Poor guy. No wonder he's an alcoholic now. This battle, pretty. Oh yeah, 17 losses, but they lost 2,000 here. Enemy troops, just a big pile of levies here. Oh, there was a king. They had a king. The king of Burgundy was over here. Benedict Bang rampaged through the soldiers, became a berserker. And then in this smaller battle, oh yeah, against the mercenaries who turned sides, we absolutely just crushed them. So that was that's good to see. I'm tempted to take Ostfriesland as well here, just to kind of get this nice chunk of Frisia. They've got maybe like 1 or 2 more places left here that we could go and siege down. Maybe we send some troops down to Ostfriesland. We could potentially engage them in another battle down here if we can catch their forces. Will we be able to, though? Oh, maybe. We'll see. We head over straight over here. They're going to be trying to... Looks like they're probably trying to, like, siege back down some of their lands, but... Hardtack. I've been feeling off lately, might be due to poor health, but Estrid is recommending that I try hardtack daily. I'm pretty used to eating with my troops, so I can do this. Eating hardtack for 10 years. Small health boost. You lose mild stomach. Oh, well, that's alright. Yeah, sure. Oh, wait, where's their army here? Yeah, okay. Can we take down this army? We've got 7,000 troops. Ivar leading it. Let's band them all together. I mean, even forces. Army supplies running low. Ooh, defending a river crossing, though. I'd like to... Maybe we go down here and then attack them? That might be, like, smarter here. Yeah, this will give us the advantage over them here. If we take a look. Should be able to win this fight, I think. Come on. Yeah, there we go. This is just, now we don't even have the allies. It's just Ivar doing it himself. And hell yeah, he's going to take him down because he is a warrior from a line of warriors. And he will prove his family to be the greatest. Oh, and we became friends with Frostir as well, which is pretty cool. We captured Edward, the knight of the company of the Brabancon Wolf. That is excellent to see. Details that battle. We lost 400, but they lost 1,800. And here we can see that our champion, Emender Ravensblood, wounded the king of East Francia. Nice. Emender, the son of Njord, wounded the king. Hell yeah. He's got a bunch of kids too, which is awesome. Ravensblood continuing this campaign well. And look at that. Snarfari as well. The House of Snarfari, which has had at least some... This guy, he had turned Basque. But one of his sons apparently is still Norse to the bone and a berserker as well, and dismembered Geralf. Our champion Einar was wounded, and we captured Edward. Nice. All right, can we do? Oh man, I'm a little bit worried about this tiny bit of our army, so I'm tempted to split and get another 3,000 over there, and maybe do a little bit of sieges. Like I said, I do want to take Frisia and Aquitaine, so that's gonna be our main goal here. I think if we bring in 3,000 troops, we are splitting up a little bit, and I am kind of concerned about that. Actually, you know what? Maybe we bring another 1,500 up here as well, because we've got our allies down here, but I do want to ensure we've got enough troops to hold here. We should be okay. They've got 5,000. Our allied troops are a little bit of a ways away. Oh, they're splitting up, which is... Oh, they're probably trying to resupply. Our supply is not doing great. But our ally's going to take this land as well, which looks like... Oh, yeah, okay. So we'll probably be able to take... Once we take this one, and this one, I think that's going to be... I mean, do we want to take Holland? I mean, we could take the last two. We're maxed out on this. So if we can get the objectives here, we're probably going to be pretty good. So we won't need to take that much of Aquitaine. We'll just rampage through it, and it'll probably be ours. All right, so this siege should be fine. We've got enough troops to hold these lands down here. Oh, our house embroidery. Oh, mercenary contracts expiring. Can we extend these contracts? I mean, the Norse Mercenary Company. We'll extend the one, but I don't know if we got the money to extend the other. So I think we'll let one lapse. So that will hurt our troop count a little bit here, but it just is what it is. Yeah, we can't hold them both. Those mercenaries were very helpful, obviously, though. What do we want to take here? Stalwart leader. Serve the crown. Probably stalwart leader is going to be most advantageous to us, I think, in this case. So, yeah. Oh, you know what? Can we sell some artifacts? We've got a lot of artifacts. Could we sell some artifacts to build up to make sure we've got enough money? Yeah, we can sell this brilliant gemstone. Can we sell this? We're 71. Yeah, you know what? Keeping these mercenaries is definitely worth selling some of these more useless artifacts. So that actually gives us a bunch of money to play around with. So I will extend this mercenary contract. And that should ensure that we have enough troops here for at least another 3 years. If we can hit them in a couple more battles, we should be looking pretty decent. This siege is going to go well. They've got a decent amount of troops here. That's the thing. What do they got? 3,000? Yeah, they got a fair amount here. Just a little worried if they do come and attack this army here. Maybe we break off just enough to siege down that land, and we'll send another 700 up here. I want to make sure our allies, though, keep this siege going. The siege is going to be done relatively soon, though. How much longer do we got? 32 days left. So, oh no, why did you break that siege, you fools? Oh, you almost had it. I hate it. I hate it when the ally does that. All right, we're gonna go and get the siege going over here. Camp dispute between Uba and Strigtiger. All right, let's deliver a speech of unity to the crown. Nice. Resolution. I get up and deliver a speech about how we're all fighting for the future of the Norse people and how we must stand united against our foes, for if we don't, there are many outsiders who would take advantage of our internal squabbles to seize our lands and impose their rule upon us. My soldiers look abashed, and we prove ourselves to be obviously a well-respected commander of men here. All right, so this siege is going to be done. They'll probably try moving once that is done there. We got a bunch of money from that as well. So that should be good. We'll keep these sieges rolling here. Do we want to go for Holland here? Maybe. Maybe we do. Like I said, yeah, if we can take Frisia and... Oh, Frozen Pines. I wander a desolate, cold wilderness in my dreams. By my side is Mare, whose presence is comforting in this eternal labyrinth of snowy conifers and deathly silence. Then the sunset night begins, and where is Mare? I call out for her. Nothing but the eternal labyrinth of snowy conifers and deathless silence. I panic. I wander the pines, desperately looking for my companion, and then light. A light whose source I do not know. A light that does not look like it belongs here. A light that shines in my eyes and which I know prevents me from finding her. I will find a way through. This is just our courtier. Okay. When I tell her about the dream, she gives only a quizzical smile. This is the wife of Hrostyr's son? Huh. Do we have some sort of unresolved feelings for this woman, perhaps? I don't know. Maybe it kind of seems so. Look at their army just kind of chilling around. Enter seclusion. Let's isolate our capital. I don't really even need to know that if there's disease spreading, Gotland will not get it. It is an island after all. Maybe we split our army up here, send half to go and continue this siege. I know this has just been a lot of sieging, but there's been some pretty epic battles in this episode as well. And so once we take all of Frisia, then we just need to go and deal with a little bit of Aquitaine. It's crazy that we can see all of these troops. I think it's because we called up an ally who actually exists within this realm. But yeah, that's actually going to give us a nice bonus here. Our sister was imprisoned. Oh, King Halfdan. He's dying. Oh, but we're still his heir. Oh, if he actually dies of measles here, that would be so good for us. We'll inherit Norway. Oh, actually, man, we're losing people. Oh, measles is taking people. Oh, yeah. It's a good thing we blocked off Gotland here. Ooh, the measles is spreading. Yikes. All right, I do want to watch out for my army here that's a little bit separated out because we've got a couple enemy forces coming in over here. So if I can bolster them up, we should be okay. Looks like they've got some troops. Oh, are you facing... No, he's not facing any rebellions yet either. That's the unfortunate thing. They might be coming down over here, but I brought 5,000 troops up. So that should be okay. Oh, we did take over Schkecht. So let's go and bring our troops. They're coming over here. So maybe we can bring... Oh yeah, look at them running. I don't want these... I don't want this small rebellion, though, to hurt us here. So I'm tempted to go and take them down, actually. I don't want them sieging back any of our lands here. So we'll engage in this little bit of a battle here. Bring up our forces. Ivar should be able to take them down relatively easily here. Release. I found myself alone in my chambers. I just began crying. Things aren't over, at least not yet. Huh. Can we win this fight? That's a little bit of an even fight, actually. More commander traits, army supplies running low. 6,000 for 7,000? We might be able to take them here. I'm tempted to see if they come for us. Oh man, do we fight this one? Chances are even. This could be a good one. Depends if our allies do come and join us here. Do we want to take them? I don't like that it says it's even, but I feel like we've got a decent shot at this. We've got the better, higher quality troops, more men-at-arms counter. Take a look at the details of this battle. Absolutely crush those smaller armies there. Oh, do we want to do one? Oh, we've got prisoners we can ransom here. Herbert Carling. Oh, we got a Carling? Not an important one, but we could ransom him for some money. We'll get some ransoms here. I do want to keep this guy, though. So we'll hold on to him. Sybil de Chantemois. Could be a concubine. But well, you know what? I think we're gonna engage in this fight. I think we can probably pull off a victory here. Growing strong. Oh, Carl's doing better. Good. Good. All right, yeah, I think we can win this fight. Yeah, looks like it. All right, come on, let's take him. There we go. My brother was, I don't even know where he was imprisoned. It's just so much going on. Yes, all right, here. This could be a big battle. I mean, we've got the war score from the battle, so now it's just about finishing off Frisia and then sieging down Aquitaine. So, enemy forms an alliance. Don't think we got to worry too much about that. All right, yeah, I think we'll probably just take Holland. And then I think I'll call it there for the Frisian territories, but we should get all of these, and that should be more than enough to form the Kingdom of Frisia. So that is that's what we're gonna do there. Let's bring up our forces. Let's get the siege finished off, and then I'm gonna divert all of our forces, and we're just gonna go, and we're probably gonna take, you know, we'll take Bordeaux, and we'll take a couple places in Aquitaine. That should turn around this minus 49% here. And quickly, yeah, we'll be at war score as soon as we take maybe 1 or 2 places in Aquitaine. They just won't be able to stop us from taking it. And so that's gonna be what turns things around. So yeah, let's get this last siege done here in Holland. Details of that battle. That was a nice battle as well, actually. You know, we were outnumbered, but we ended up pulling off a victory despite all of that anyways. Yeah, let's get this siege going. They might try to siege back down some places, I'm guessing, but I don't know. It's not probably not going to be enough. Right, so let's spare no expenses to rebuild. Okay, yeah, where are they going? I'm tempted. Oh man, we are suffering from attrition though. Like I said, we really only need to probably siege down 1 Aquitanian territory. Oh, but they are trying to siege back down the capital. All right, I do want to deal with that. I know I'm running out of supply. I know, I'm aware of all this, but we're very close to finding victory in this war. If we can pull off a victory here, but I just don't want them to siege back down these lands. So I want to go we'll bring all of our forces up. Yeah, we are suffering from attrition, but I think we'll still be able to pull off a victory in this fight here. Go right, because they're trying to siege down their capital, and that's gonna hurt us. Well, it's not gonna hurt us that much. All right, let's go and get their army here. Where are they trying to retreat to? Can we catch them? Could we split up and catch them, actually? Maybe not. We'll be able to get 1 part of their army here, so that's good. Let them run. Actually, this is actually good that they split up, because that's going to make it much easier to take them. Oh, we're going up against a man here. Let's duel him ourselves. Who is this guy? Is he tough? Not too tough. Strike, parry, riposte. Better men than you have died trying to... No, let's coach the spear. Strike, parry, riposte once again. Fastest blade in the Eastern Salt. And we take down Count Wichmann. But he runs. He fled from us after the duel, the coward. Alright, can we take down some of these armies down here? Might be able to. Yeah, they're gonna try to get some sieges done, but I know we're not boosting our war score here, but I just want to prevent them from sieging this down. And then we're gonna set sail. We're gonna go. We'll siege down Bordeaux, and then that should be enough to pull off the victory that we're looking for. We should be able to defeat them. We got the defender advantage. We got the troops, so yeah, I think we'll be looking okay to stop this this battle here. Ivar once again taking it to the enemy. Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, at some point we do need to go for Bordeaux. So I think we'll head to the sea. If they siege back down some of this stuff, so be it. But yeah, I think we need to go and take Bordeaux. And basically, we'll have to imagine it like we take Bordeaux, and basically all of this stuff is just, you know, kind of like undefended territory essentially, because they've put all of their troops up to defending these lands. And so yeah, let's name him Anund, Einar, Svend. Sven's a good name. All right, let's go. Where are our allies going? Are they going to try to take this little army over here? Oh, okay, our allies sent them running, so that's good. But yeah, if we can go and we just really need to siege down 1. This thing is what's hurting us now, but as soon as we take 1 county in the objective here, that should that should turn that around. And so we'll basically get boosted by plus 64. And like, as you can see here, we're already maxed out there. So theoretically, if we take, we don't even need to take Bordeaux. That's the thing. We could probably take, what's their weakest castle that they have around here? We only need to take one. So like Le Bourd. What is this? This is a castle level 6. This is a castle level 4. Bordeaux is a castle level 4. Okay, Bordeaux actually is a decent one to take. So that's where we're going to go. And their armies are now like pretty far away from us as well. Oh, nice. We get a dynasty legacy. Strange gods. Always space in the hold. Maybe we go for pillage. Army loot capacity. I don't know how much more looting we're going to get done, but strange gods. Faith conversion cost. I don't know. This could end up being useful to us later on. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off on choosing that, though, because I don't really actually know what we want to go, because things are going to change pretty heftily here once this is all said and done. Okay, where are our allies going? Okay, they're going to try to take Holland back, but I'm actually okay with that. We should be able to... Just got to get the siege done. So I guess we'll... I mean, yeah, we're losing. I know we're losing. We've got tons of attrition. So unfortunately, my game crashed there. I had to go back to the last autosave, which was just before we took Holland. But I went and pretty much finished that back off and then came back down to Bordeaux, where we went and sieged that, which basically will have given us access to this entire region here. I mean, having the mouth of the river basically gives us unfettered access down the river. You know, our armies might be weakened, but the forces of the Holy Roman Empire have just been devastated. You know, there's all sorts of like conflict going on. You know, the emperor himself has lost his capital. You know, he's been without a capital for, you know, how many years now? 5 years. He's here for 3 or 4 years at least. You know, he's been without his capital, without his lands here. And then the Vikings come down and start raiding their way down the river. We've won every battle they've put against us. We've crushed their army time and time and time again. And the emperor simply has no choice. The lords here in these lands are going to fall to our forces. You can imagine, you know, these armies are, you know, not all that we're going to be seeing. You know, you could probably imagine that once this has happened, that, you know, hordes of Vikings from Norway and Denmark and, you know, all the lands, you know, even from Iberia would be coming in and basically taking all this land. So I know it's going to give us all of this without us sieging it down, but you have to kind of imagine a little bit. You got to expand from just the game mechanics and imagine just at this point with the empire so weakened that there's a horde of Vikings that would just come and just ravage these lands and basically taking everything that we can. And, you know, some of the local lords would try to, you know, defend themselves, and it just, the sieges would just go on for maybe some years, but they would have no chance. The emperor can't defend them. Nobody can defend them. They don't even have a king in these lands, because, you know, it's all just these independent little duchies and things like that. So they would all fall one by one with no protector, for the emperor is not there. And that is why we can now enforce our demands here upon the emperor. And take a look at that. To the vile King Ivar, tales of your misdeeds are told from Ireland to Cathay. You are a much greater foe than I imagine. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. Emperor Amaury the Silent. He had no choice. He was in, you know, desperate trouble there with, you know, the amount. Look at this. He's turned to drinking, and he's, you know, been sleeping around as well, just from the stress of it. But look at that. Yeah. So yeah, obviously this gives us a ton of land that we didn't go and just siege down. But like I said, you have to imagine that, you know, there was probably a secondary Norse invasion going on in here this whole time, even though we were kind of like focused up on these lands. So that's the way I see it, is that, there was basically kind of two invasions going on this whole time. And then Bordeaux was just maybe the final one that just allowed basically unfettered access to this entire region. And we just rampage on through there. We could probably imagine for a few years there's going to be holdouts in some of these lands, but basically they're all going to fall eventually. And so that's kind of how I'm imagining that this would play out, because obviously mechanically it's a little bit different than how you could imagine it through a roleplay sense. But like I said, this was a massive invasion, and yeah, we took lands in Frisia, and then just basically I'm assuming we got some help here from Galicia, and in fact Castali as well, which is fighting some wars, and Bergthora here has actually become the Queen of Castali, which is pretty epic. So we are going to follow up on everything in the next episode, which will be an epilogue episode, because this was the tale of the last Viking, and I do believe that King Ivar here may be the last in the line of the great Viking rulers. So we shall see what the effects of this are. Leave your comments down below, because I'm totally willing to consider any suggestions for, what would happen with the Holy Roman Empire after this victory. I'm also tempted. I'll probably give. Oh yeah, actually, you can see that there's all these. These rulers are still here. Ruling these lands here. So yeah, we didn't get rid of them. They basically so they all had to pretty much surrender, essentially. So they all swore fealty to us. I thought it was going to give us all of these lands, but no, they swear fealty to us. So we took some of these lands. You can see here, actually, we gained some titles. So we gained like Bordeaux, Agen, Albrecht, Carcassonne, Rossello, Montpellier. But yeah, there's still a good chunk of rulers here who just basically swore fealty to us because of they'd rather do that than just get sieged and killed. So yeah, super cool. That was a crazy war, but it is over now. And so yeah, let me know down below. I do think that this blow to the emperor, it might not end the Holy Roman Empire, but like you gotta imagine that kingdoms like East Francia, Burgundy is massive. Well, maybe East Francia would remain, but like Burgundy surely is going to break off. Look how powerful they became here. They inherited Italy. So you got to imagine Burgundy might want to break off. Brittany might break off as well, because, they're kind of on the periphery. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm definitely willing to kind of change some events, or change the scenario here a little bit, considering that the power of the Emperor is gotta be significantly weakened here. So let me know down below, but I will see you in the next episode.